India should develop closer relations with Somaliland, especially by using its port. This could provide India a valuable tool for countering China's influence along the eastern coast of Africa. In looking for access to the Red Sea, India should avoid overcrowded Djibouti and opt for Somaliland's port of Berbera. Berbera handles 1/10 as much traffic as Djibouti's port, but it is growing thanks to investment by Ethiopia and the United Arab Emirates (UAE), which are new members of BRICS grouping and key partners for India. India has frequently deployed anti-piracy patrol boats and warships to the Gulf of Aden, north of Somaliland, to maintain stability in the region. As India strives to gain more influence, Somaliland itself could become India's strategic linchpin. Somaliland's location and history hold key advantages for India. A breakaway region of Somalia, it controls an 850-kilometer coastline along the Red Sea, and Berbera is one of Africa's busiest ports. Before a civil war destroyed Berbera, the British used the port to connect Ethiopia with India, and earlier this year, Ethiopia signed a historic deal with Somaliland to gain commercial and military access to the port. In developing closer relations, India will be joining Somaliland's growing network of partnerships, in striking contrast to Somalia and many other African countries. Somaliland is relatively stable and has been a democracy for more than 30 years. Despite being broadly unrecognized as a sovereign state, it has begun partnering with many countries. Its capital, Hargeisa, hosts consuls of Djibouti, Ethiopia, and Turkey, as well as license office of Britain, Denmark, and United Arab Emirates, Egypt, and Kenya. India and Somaliland already share a long trade relations. Somaliland imports various goods from India: food, petroleum, gas, machinery, building materials, apparel, tobacco, pharmaceuticals, and cars. India is one of Somaliland's major trading partners by container volume, along with United Arab Emirates, China, Turkey, Malaysia, and Saudi Arabia. Berbera's port's impressive operations and location within Africa make it a strategic asset for India. Last year, Berbera ranked even above Kenya's port of Mombasa in the World Bank's Container Port Performance Index. It is also well placed for India to establish a naval base. From it, India could counter Pakistan's attempt to spread Islamist extremism in Mozambique and the Democratic Republic of Congo, as well as the regional influence of the Chinese army, which has a base in Djibouti. Closer ties with Somaliland could also strengthen India's relationship with the UAE, which has invested $300 million in expanding Berbera port and the nearby free trade zone. Among other extensive investments and aid to Somaliland, the UAE is co-developing the Berbera corridor with Ethiopia to connect that landlocked country to the port. In return for such help, Somaliland will allow UAE to establish an air and naval base in Berbera. The UAE has already docked ships at Berbera, about 250 kilometers south of Yemen, where the Saudi-led coalition that includes UAE troops was recently fighting Hutu rebels. Because Ethiopia and the UAE became members of the BRICS in 2023, closer cooperation with them could enhance India's status within grouping and provide opportunities for accessing Berbera port. Ethiopia is leading the way by shifting all its commerce to Berbera. Crucially, a strong bond with Somaliland could help India counter China's influence in the region. In 2020, Somaliland recognized Taiwan. It continues to support Taiwan diplomatically despite intensive pressure from China and lobbying by members of opposition Vandin Party. However, given the small size of its economy and lack of broad diplomatic recognition, Somaliland will not be able to resist China's influence for too long unless India shows up. If India establishes a stronger economic presence in Somaliland, it will benefit Indian businesses and enhance Somaliland's prosperity. As African countries increasingly seek to extricate themselves from China's debt trap diplomacy and look for alternatives. India's growing engagement in the region could inspire other fence-sitters to eschew finance from China. India must revisit its Africa strategy and partner with other like-minded countries to counter China's influence in the region. Closer relations with Somaliland are crucial for developing a past-India, a zone of influence for India along the East African coast.